Well, hello, my friends. It has been a while, but it's time to have the talk. Another issue of the Tenkai Talk. It has been a while since I'd done one of these, and it's just been. It's been crazy. So, for those who don't know who I am, me, I'm the guy who's been running my channel for 15, borderline 16 years on YouTube. The guy known as Pookie Izzy 7, the Tenkaichi of gaming, the underdog of the underrated. Basically, that guy that does all those underrated games that most people have never heard of or they kind of heard of, but never actually been seen being played fully. I do cult classics too, but that's besides the point. I'm also a talented artist of sorts. I say that because I can only do one of two things: voice act and write. Therefore, it makes me an artist of sorts. I have done things on my channel which mostly through digging and or by request by my friends, or if not my friends, some random people by way of comments, in which if it's a request of some sort or a suggestion, I take it into consideration and most likely just keep it in the backlog of my head. Just say, okay, remember that? Good, good, good. So for those who don't know, the actual me, my name is Israel. That's right. And I have been on this earth for about all my life. I have gone through some stuff in life. Technically because I have cerebral palsy. It has been a very rough 46 years. Yet I can only go back as far as 5. I've been through the worst of it. Mostly through bullying, if not ridicule. I have fought back. Very few times in which I don't want to feel like I need to fight back. But in hindsight of it all, yeah, in a sense, I'm stupid. I have done things to help preserve the quality of life in my own way. And for all that's worth, that means spending time with friends. And, well, you know, if I feel like it, show up, say hi, and, spend time with them. Because I know they had rough days. I know that I've had rough days. We've all had them rough days. Sometimes I know I can be a bit snarky, but come on now. If it's snark you want, then there's only one other person besides me who can provide that. But if I need to pull back, I will indeed pull back. So, let me tell you about this week that I've been having. Because everybody knows, or everybody don't know, that within this last full quarter, I will be without a home. This home that I've been living in for Oh, say all my life. Here in beautiful, sunny, sometimes very rainy Los Angeles, California. Well, I've been through a lot. I have seen too much. This house that is going up on the market. This house, I can say, has seen its fair share of fights, its deaths, and a whole lot of tears. Yeah, this house has seen a lot. And who has been sitting here this entire time? Me. Sitting through it all. Mainly because I have tried. I have literally tried to make things better for my family, but apparently I hadn't. I've been having a hard time trying to do that. And as far as my friends go, well, I don't even know what the hell's going on. Because sometimes they might have an issue of some sort. Maybe, they got stuff going on that they don't want to talk about. And I completely understand that. But if they want to have an ear or a shoulder, they got it. No questions asked. Because I've been through it. Let me tell you something. When you're trying to protect somebody, it don't always work. Okay? Okay? You see, I've been like that all my life. I have been protected because of this disability, knowing that full well I'm going to get hurt. My mom tried to protect me. In life, that's what she tried to do. She tried to protect me from the rest of the world because of this disability. I have cerebral palsy, so therefore, after having, surgery on my left side, the only thing I have to deal with is my mind. Because my body's slightly messed up. I cannot walk straight. My arm, I can't really keep it straight. It cannot go like full length like my other arm. My right arm, no problem. Left, can't do it. My right side hurts like hell. But guess what? It's trying to compensate for two sides. My right side is trying to compensate for the strength in my left side. That tells you something. And there have been so many times. So many times I really hated myself. Hated the fact that I have this. I never asked for it. It just happened. I grew up with it. So therefore, it's been a thing. I can tell you, there's nothing worse than self-loathing. And the one thing I've been going through all my life has been self-loathing. And sure, I have pretty much taken everything that I could possibly do. Listening to everybody else, their highs and their lows. That's fine. That's dandy. But when it comes to my highs and my lows, especially those, they don't want to hear it. Well, guess what? My name is Israel. Guess what? My name has been around for eons. My name is in the Bible. It's also the place where everybody's praying for peace. And yet, it's one of those names that basically It has a heavy burden. Just like my left side. My left side is a very heavy burden. What I have is a very heavy burden. It's very difficult for me. I mean, I had to take in so many things, like, as I mentioned about this week. This week we had a death in the choir. One of our own passed away, and we just learned about this, say last Sunday. We did a tribute to him this past Monday. At the same time, as I mentioned, I get a notification about one of the many auditions I have been doing over the years, and one of them happens to want my voice, or happen to want me to be part of a project which is happening next week. Mentally, like I said, I've been through enough, and like, well, if this happens, great. You know what? That's wonderful. I can basically do the following. I can actually go out and get myself some Chinese, or go out to a buffet, maybe catch a movie, maybe do both. Give myself a break. Give myself some peace, some quiet, a bit of anything. Just to say, I need this. Just to quiet the various things that are going on in my head. The little things that are basically like the nerves from way back when. I've been going to psychiatry. Yeah, I've been going to psych appointments. My mental health hasn't been doing very good. And basically I want to look into that 1%. Been looking into that 1% ever since. So therefore what I've been doing has been that, looking into my 1%. And everything I've shared points me to saying I have PTSD. And all the questions, the hard questions that I never ever considered being honest with, I was honest with. Like for the hardest one, I can say, have I ever considered suicide? Oh yeah, plenty of times. Plenty enough times. The hardest thing I can actually say was that was the hardest thing I had to admit to just coming out and saying, yeah, I've contemplated that all my life. Let's say that really was the hardest thing I ever had to say in a long time. So after many sessions, we're getting to visualization. Visualization of what it all looks like. What I've been through. So, it's a cage. Oh, it used to have something in it. Something gruesome. Very grotesque. Beyond description. It was just there. And now it's like, I'm looking at it now. I'm like, I gotta take care of you now, huh? It's not been easy just trying to take care of that 1% that's like, that was in me. And it's been like a growing husk, and it's been like, well, been like a bus. I was talking to somebody not too long ago before I started this video. He had shared with me a familiar story that he's gone through so much, and like him, he's very much alone. And he's trying to reach out to as many people as he can because, outside of what we do in choir, that's it. We don't actually ever talk after the fact that, after we're done with practice, okay, next time we come together, it'll be on Sunday. Next time we actually be together, it'll be on the Sunday we actually perform. Most likely, that's how it's actually going to be. That's how it's always been. And we were having this long talk, a 40-minute talk, about, basically our lives and, what we've been doing, what we've been doing outside of this and everything else. And the funny thing he said was, after all this, I'm a hero. I'm like, hey, yeah, if you want to call me that, sure. And trust me, it's like, I can play that role, but it's like, when it comes down to it, I don't feel like it. Never felt like one, because, it's more like, same thing as a leader. I've never felt like a leader. I was just there to just say, okay, what the fuck am I doing? What do I need to do? I'm here because technically it's just a matter of, you're here, we're gonna give this to you. We're gonna give you this mantle just because you're here. So I wear the mantle like it's a trench coat. Really, that is, if you really want to look at it like that, I said my mantle is a trench coat. You want to know why? Because my name's Israel. Seemed like a running gag of sorts, but hey, if it makes somebody laugh, if somebody's getting a little giggle from it, kudos. I have done my job. I have made you laugh. I have done my due diligence. Fuck you. Yeah. So, I was listening to him for 40 minutes while we were, conversing. Listening to him for 40 minutes. We kind of both share the same, this about the same story. Like, outside, we really don't have any lives. Outside of what we do in church, we really do not have anything going on. It's like, I have nothing to do. You don't have anything to do. Same thing. I have a best friend in high school. Keep in contact with sometimes. If not by text, it's just by a call. And I just say, hey, how's your weekend? Anything going on? whatever. We would text back. We would have a text conversation. If not call each other, we would have a phone conversation. Maybe about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes or so. And, I'll be like, hey, D-Boy, how's it going, man? Yeah, his name is Damon, but I like calling him D-Boy. So for the most part, I've been, basically just going through here, going through there, and whatnot. It's just been like, And I kind of realized that, some things that was said in who I was talking to for 40 minutes, it was kind of funny. Like, there's some things that were, like, parallel to mine. Some painful experiences he went through, parallel to mine, what I've experienced. It's sort of like, it's like, damn, really? It's like I'm hearing Killing Me Softly, But it's that sort of thing that just makes it kind of like, wow. So let's talk about my current friends. My current friends, I don't know. Really, technically, I don't know. I don't have this gloom and doom disposition. It's just basically this. So what are you mad about now? I'm not mad. It's like most people do not realize the inside of this 1%, the 1% that I had to go through is sort of a thing. And the 1% is still there. Whenever I'm doing videos, it's there. Whenever I'm trying to sit in a stream, it's there. Whenever I'm trying to hold a conversation, it's there. And what have I been doing for the last 15 years? Can't say it has been. It has been a thing, but I've been making videos for the last 15 years. They've been keeping me sane for those last 15 years. I've gone through various forms of crap for being a Let's Player. I've been told by one person who basically jumps like a goddamn bullet that I'm not supposed to feel down. I'm supposed to feel, I'm always supposed to feel up. I can't always feel up. I'm sorry. But the very least I'm going to do is show up. The very least I'm going to do is show up and support. I got plenty of friends who, plenty of friends who stream. Ryu, he streams. He streams on the weekend. Big, he streams all week. Sheena, she sometimes streams when she feels like it. Then there's me. I stream when I got the time. When I'm not doing much of anything. When I'm not taking up anybody's time to sit there and basically do the following. Do videos. Do various video series that I don't do every night, but I do almost every night. Every other night, rather. And let me just say that, it has kept me sane for 13 long years. And I never worried about the... And even if I did, it was more like, oh, yeah, you're right. Back of my head, oh, yeah, you're right. What am I doing this for? So sometimes I need a good reminder to be told, what am I doing all this for? I don't think it's bleeding now, but the last thing that happened was I went to a blood drive, right? Which happened on Tuesday. So therefore, it's like, get this, Tuesday, the only day we had rain. It was off and on. So it's like, by the time I went to sleep, time I got up, it stopped. It was long enough for me to go to my PT, then make it down to the church just to get my vitals checked so I'm eligible to give my blood, in which I like to dub it as I'm giving 200 HP from my own health for somebody else who needs 2000 HP for their health. Hey, it's a noble equivalent exchange. You know, a tenth of my life for, say, a couple of years more for somebody else's life. You know, maybe more. I don't know. But I usually get some kind of notification like, oh, well, your donation has been sent to San Jose or San Diego or San Francisco or something. San Francisco. I don't know. I like to think Little Tokyo would be what I like to dub it as San Francisco. Thank you. Yeah, but you know, it's like my friends are kind of worried about me. Like, if you really want to know what's going on, I think I already told you. This thing with the house. My current situation is we're basically on wait and see. The only thing I can do is basically whatever I gotta do in between all this. If there's anything available. Or say, oh, if something happens to where, oh, well, if you don't have anything happening, wait, you know. But I couldn't really do that. I mean, I could, but I'm like, I've been through that before with family. I stayed for about 2 weeks. They wanted out. They wanted me out. They wanted us out. It's usually it usually takes 2 weeks, if not a month. Then they get tired of you because all you're doing is you're eating up their food. You're taking up space, and then they just want you out. Branch family can do that to you. I've been through it. So here I am right now, just going through the motions with what to do, how to do this, and those 2 words I dread every damn time. What now? And the only thing I want to do is get through the rest of this quarter without incident. Without incident means just that. Without incident. I want to get through, say, this week. Which I pretty much did. I got past the most busiest days of the week, basically being Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, without incident. I made it to Friday. and even more to Saturday without incident. And that's not easy to go throughout a whole month without incident. You wanna know why? Because my name's Israel. The Israel part of me has never been talked about because the Israel part of me has always been seen as eloquent and intelligent, and most people don't know beyond stress the fuck out. Being me has never been easy. Talking to people have never been easy for me. It's not because that is just that 1% working me, and I have anxiety. Like, I don't mind being part of a group, but when you ask me to say something out of the blue like that, like, okay, on the fly. That's the first thing that's on my head. On the fly. It's like constantly saying that in my head, on the fly. Like, before coming back home, I said a prayer. And I'm like, 2 minutes. Let me get these 2 minutes out of the way. On the fly. And as soon as I open my eyes, so, well, say in your name, amen. You know, that's basically it. It's like, what happened? I said, 2 minutes. Basically, after 2 minutes, I'm like, okay, I want to get out of here now. I'm done. I want to get out of here now. Technically, just that. The worst thing is, being Israel is the fact that people expect so much out of you. It's not been easy, let me tell you. And part of me is always worried if I'm good enough to be called a friend. Good enough if I can be called a partner. Good enough if I can be called anything past my name. And that's been like the toughest thing ever since. Because I got so much going in my head that technically I'm not once ever in the history of knowing myself have ever called myself by my full name. Everybody else has, but I haven't. I think when it started for me, when I started doing poetry. When I mean, I did poetry before, but not on this level. It's like I just did. Like, I did it in high school, but, you know, it's more like it was just a little thing for a poetry book, and I did like I did the cover, but that's about it. I did the cover. I think it was for, I want to say it was 8th grade or 10th grade or something like that, but it was in high school. It was either in junior high or high school, and I did like a slam book. That's what they call it. The cover of a slam book. So technically, you know, it's like, well, okay. You know, that's basically it. Just like, okay, this is what you want for me to do? Alright then. Okay. I'm not sure if I still have it on me. But if I did, I would love to, like, show a picture of it. Another thing I haven't done very often, well, show my face. I've been showing my face a whole lot more for like 2 minutes. And within those 2 minutes, I'm just saying one poem. Now, if I can say a poem for 2 minutes and probably get somebody's attention within those 2 minutes, how the hell can somebody just not listen to me for like 30 goddamn minutes or maybe a whole fucking hour? You want to know why? My name's Israel. Nice to meet you. Well, let's see. I'm looking at what I'm going to be looking at after I'm done with this. Mainly one of those old sci-fi horror movies in anime form. The only one I have is called Lily Cat. Let me tell you, I do love me a bit of horror when it's done right, not when it's like all samey and technically what the fuck am I looking at? Just basically I'm like, give it time. Like, I gave it time. What the fuck am I looking at? It's like, no, I'm not judgmental. I'm basically just like, seriously, what the hell am I looking at? This is supposed to be a story. What is this? What am I looking at? You know, I'm technically just like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, sometimes I'm like, what am I looking at? And even sometimes with my friends' streams, I'm like, what the hell am I looking at? Seriously. What am I looking at? Huh? You know, basically, just that. If it's supposed to be entertaining, you know, I'd be like, well, nobody asked you to say, well, I'm sorry, but my phone let me know that you're online, you're streaming. If not, you tell me you're streaming yourself and you want me to come in there and you want people to show up to your streams. You're asking your best friends to show up for you in your streams. Okay, fine. But just one question. What the hell am I looking at? And then have the audacity to get mad just because I asked one question. What the hell am I looking at? It's like earlier. And mind you, the time of this recording is Thursday. And I had just got back in from choir rehearsal about an hour ago. Now, I only have say what I was doing the entire time of this week. I finally had time to basically wash all my clothes. Wash and dry my clothes. Doesn't take me that long. Basically, it takes a good 2 hours because I have to wash the clothes. Then throw them in there, wash in dryers next to each other. So it's like 68 minutes. That's 1 hour right there. Then there's another hour and 15 minutes. So that's 2 hours. I have to make sure everything is dry. If not everything's dry, guess what I gotta do? Throw them back into the wash, or rather the dryer, for a quick 30 minutes. Or 30 seconds, 30 minutes, whatever. I put them on quick dry. Make sure they're nice and dry on both ends. And if they seem dry enough, I hang them up or toss them in, or toss them in the drawer. There we go. I'm good for next week. I went to Sheena's stream earlier, and this was by the time I was actually going to. I was basically looking at my time and like, well, it was 5 something. So mind you, had to leave so I can only give 15 minutes of set time before I had to leave, catch the bus, and go through the gate just to be on time for choir rehearsal. She got mad at me for killing the mood only because I was asking one question. Did it feel weird, or does it feel like it was the Twilight Zone? And then after that, she blew up on me. And like I said, I've had a week. I mean, you go through a choir death, and then how many deaths happened this week in Hollywood? And I'm going, and you know, I'm having this, and let's see, oh, yeah, by the way, I'm also having this happen. You know, I'm going through A, B, C, D, F, G all at once. And all I'm trying to do is trying not to get myself one big freaking headache. And yet the funny thing is, I'm trying to be there for my friends. That's the funny thing. I'm trying to be there for my friends. And, you know, it's like, if there's something going on and nobody tells me, please don't do that. You know, at least do me the courtesy of telling me what's going on. And I did find out what was going on this week. Because I'm like, it all started Sunday. You know, I'm like, it was basically, I wasn't being like sensitive or something like that. I don't know what it was, because like I said, I'm going through a lot of stuff of my own. So guess what? I'm like, I know this, but at the same time, like, you know, I would notice if something's missing. Like, wait, let me take a look at this. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, I'm basically like, in my head, I'm panicking at the same time I'm plotting. It's like panic and plot, panic and plot, panic and plot, panic and plot. I'm just doing 2 things at once. Like, oh shit, what the fuck's going on? What the fuck did I say? What the hell did I do? You know, the first thing that popped in my head. So, what the fuck did I do now? Izzy, what did you do? How come this wasn't, you know, how come nobody didn't tell me about this? Am I supposed to be in this to, you know, am I supposed to go here to get all my information? Or, you know, what I need to do? You know, you don't tell me anything. How am I supposed to know what the hell's going on? It sort of ticks me off in the sense that it reminds me of how my mom went. Yeah, it goes back to that. Because guess what? When when it was told that she had dementia, mentally I was upset. And externally, I felt I was about to explode. Because, you know, I'm quote unquote the survivor of 3 brothers. I'm the runt of the litter. Therefore, I need to know what's going on. And a whole lot of whisper what's going on. And, you know, around that time, I'm trying to work things out. to where it helped as a whole and things didn't work out. And you know, it's like it's not like I didn't ask, but I'm like at the same time I want to try to make it work. And it's the same thing here. It's like I'm going through some stuff. To a point where I do not want to consider suicide at this rate. Because that's the last thing I need to really just pop up as an option. It's like, I don't want to look at that option. I've seen that option before. I'm rather sick of it. I'm rather sick of that option just being there. Because guess what? Oh, I'm angry. Oh, I'm more than angry. I've been angry for such a long time, for about 20 fucking goddamn years. Maybe longer than that. But I know I've been angry. And it's just been very tiresome, very lonely, because I've been going through this battle all by myself. Oh, I would get, you know, hints and tips, but it's like, when it comes down to it, I'm tired. I've been through too much. I've been through a broken ass system for such a long time. And in an even more broken ass system, just because I don't know what to do with myself. So, oh, we cross that bridge when we come to it. The bridge is nearly there. So I'm feeling headaches. I'm feeling pains in my joints. I'm feeling anxiety attacks. I'm fighting technically seizure attacks. I'm going through a lot of shit. And I'm basically just trying to diffuse all on my own. All on my own. I have nobody to actually, you know, to basically tell me, I mean, outside of my brother and my sister, but I mean, a friend, my girlfriend, you know, my best friend, my girlfriend, it don't matter. Just somebody to just look at me and not just tell me to be okay, but more like, look, do you want to talk about it? Do you need a moment? I don't know what's going on with you, but if you want to talk about it, if you want to get it out of your chest, just know that I'm here for you. And that's the thing. It's like, I'm very cautious when it comes to that. And not because of what I've gone through, but it's more like that part of me that wants to cry really has to cry, but at the same time it's like Ah, fuck it all. Technically, that's how it feels. I feel like, fuck it all. It's more like I'm too stubborn to die, yet I'm too stupid to keep on living. But know that I'm here. You wanna know why? Because I'm Israel. Another thing that has been bugging me is after this, I said, well, what now? What do I do with PI7? What do I do with the Tenkaichi? What do I do with the underdog of the underrated? Well, I have considered the option of killing it. Or if not killing it, give it a rebirth. I think that'd be a better thing, because after everything that has been going on, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to rebrand basically my YouTube channel. I'm not sure about my Twitch channel, because as I said before, and I think I've mentioned this, but if I hadn't mentioned this, I am going to read it from my wall. I'm actually on my phone now, so I'm actually reading this. Okay. Like I said, this is coming from my phone, so here it is. And this happened 2 days ago. So earlier today, I went to another funeral in which one of our own people from the choir passed on. Found out about this during announcements at church yesterday. Made it in time to sing in the tribute, and for the most part, I sat there listening afterwards when my phone buzzed me with emails. In the back of my head, I felt myself looking at that cage that I acknowledge is there. So I stepped inside it, visioning my coat as a cape with its own mask filter, and just started cleaning it. Thought about the times I washed my right arm and all the dirt that came off it while I was doing that. Found myself scrubbing all the stench and decay I had been working through myself all this time. All those times I kicked my own ass for feeling helpless and powerless just because I felt inadequate because of something I had lived with all my life and truly have no control over. I never did like the way I walked or moved my left side, or the fact that my left eye's lazy because of what I have, or the fact that I have a slight slur when some words I pronounce. And it reminded me, when I was smaller, I had this problem, so my mom helped me pronouncing them like thunder. For me, it came out as thunder. In one of my many LPs I've been working for the last bit of this year I got left, it's been coming out, and I feel it's due to all the stress that's been surrounding me all this time between this year and working on my next poetry book for next year. Rather amazing how I've been keeping the stress at bay while just biding my time and building my log of videos and completion lists, while all the while seeing if there's an opening in housing is for me to lock in before the move, or even in the aftermath of it all. That in itself is the 1% I deal with. I deal with the frustration, the anger, and even the slightly psychotic voices that dwells in that cage that I'm cleaning out. Yeah, even that one voice that constantly pisses me off, that wanted me to commit suicide before. Heard it before. Showed me a gun I had in my room before, full box of bullets. Never knew they existed until I saw them. Then took them out, threw them away. Another time was when I was so upset, I took a knife out, and slit my wrist. Yeah, it was there again. But I left it alone. Same attempt with wanting to perform seppuku another time. I feel the only time my anger really and truly peaked was when I was just upset after a rough week at school. Keep in mind, it was during my days as Mr. Izzy. I was dried up tired that day. On the weekend, I had gotten, like, say, 3 to 4 hours sleep. Ears twitching when I heard something so untrue, I clearly snapped. Old man was talking about me like I was some kind of slacker. And the last thing I knew, the absolute last thing, was to hear that. So I stormed into the room, did some kind of submission move, and just locked it so tight that I felt the sleeping beast awaken. Now, mind you, when my anger is at 4 or 5, it's truly on edge level. That right there is where I felt that critical mass, that the seizures hit. So imagine this, if you will. My anger at max level, on the cusp of having a seizure, that psychotic voice getting louder, and just this high-pitched sound. Thank Judge Doom. That's what goes on in that 1% of me. If I had to imagine a picture of it, it's like the opening screen cap of Phantasy Star 2. You know, the one of Alice fighting Dark Force for Wolf watching. Yeah, it's like that, but I'm watching myself fighting off something beyond description. And all that negativity, yeah, it made that thing. Took one person to get through to me. Took me out of that despite that I broke apart that door with one punch within that time frame. And I was beyond fucked up at that point. I wasn't tired, pissed, or anything beyond. I was just there. And I had gone there in hyperspeed in my head. While in that cage, I knelt down, placed my hand down on the ground, and just had a moment to apologize and just cried. Out of many things, I owed myself as that. It reminded me of a fireside chat we had on Discord earlier. Won't go into details of that. I think I said it, but at that point, it needs repeating. Don't see myself being anything bigger on here than just a mere content creator who dabbles in poetry and novels in between doing video strategy guides and what social media deem what I do as niche with low view content. I'm going to skip through all this because you already heard this for about like the last 30 minutes or last 30 minutes. In honesty, though, between now and what's happening around me, it's nothing like living in a year of Japan, and I was in my 20s, fighting my life on the line again, and I got no sword to protect me. Yeah, I'm going through some violent changes. You want to know why? Because I'm Israel. I'm the part of me that really didn't have anything to say. It's like, what is there to say? Or even if I'm there, I'm leaning back. I'm listening to everybody else's problems. I'm technically just there, listening to everybody else's problems. The Lance Dragoon part of me is like, Then the part that you guys know, Izzy, well, he's just there. He's just there trying to be just trying to take everything in stride, just trying to see the light side of everything. But it's like, then there's me. Then there's me, Israel. That part of me that just stays very quiet, sitting there, not judgmental, just sitting there. And I'm rubbing my ear, rubbing the back of my ear. And I'm like, So, well, guys, do we have anything? So there are like three parts of me that are just like, we're just all trying to deal. Haven't been the same since, but you know what? Guess what? We all change. So I've been called an idiot before. Guess what? Would you like me to die? You would? Well, get in line because everybody else been wanting me to die for like a long ass time. 45 some odd years. Take a number because every part of me wanted to pull that trigger years ago. But guess what? That little tiny, teeny tiny part of me, the one that doesn't want me to die, says no. The teeny tiny part of me says no, you're better for that. You're better than this. Probably that little part of me that had the lisp and everything. That little version of me when I was a kid. Just wants me to say, look, you need somebody to fight for you. You can't go on like this. I can't live like this. I'm trying. Lord knows I am trying. And when it's all said and done, after everything has blown over, the one thing I want to do is I want to go out and eat. I want to sit there looking at my meal quietly and just say, I want to go out and eat. When it's all said and done, I want to sit there and just have my moment and just take it all in. This is not depression talking. This is that clarity of mind that basically is like, where the fuck have you been? That's basically clarity. It's about, I've been waiting for you, man. About goddamn time you showed up. You alright? Yeah. You know, it's like, if there were like, if I could split myself into four, I could pretty much see 4 different versions of myself. And it'd be like, the fuck? I ain't seen you in like, yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. You know, it's like different versions may be talking to each other and they'd be looking at the main part of me like, damn, man. You alright? You know, in hindsight, that's what it feels like. In hindsight, it's like, you know, I've never been alright. I've been there for everybody else. And you know, when one person says, I'll be there for you, like, you sure about that? So if I ask for anything, you sure about that? You okay with that? Because the last thing I want to be is like a burden. Well, I think that does it for this session. What do you think, folks? You still think I'm fucked up? Guess what? If you say yes, I'm pretty sure I'm fucked up too. I've been through a lot of shit. No lies. I've been through a lot of shit. Going through a lot of shit. And I'm trying to take this one day at a time. Trying to get as much done as I can. The best I can. However, in whatever way I can. And even the worst thing about it, oh hey, all this is happening while a government shutdown is going on. So guess what? Yay, government shutdown. Woohoo. Yeah, that's the thing. Government shutdown. But anyway, the only thing I can do right now is just hold out and be like Mega Man. Fight for everlasting justice. Yeah, right. I can do that. I guess. I suppose. Now, I've been doing it for 15 years on YouTube. Taking a whole lot of shit off and online. Yet, at the same time, I'm trying to take everything in and trying to at least get that one notice, that one little update video just to help myself vent. Because I sure as hell can't vent to my friends. They got their own goddamn problems. Mine isn't as important as theirs. That said, I'm done with this video, but I'm not done with you. I still got a whole mess of videos I need to cover for the last few bits of this year. So guess what I'm going to be doing for the next bit of this time that I have? That's right. I'm going to be doing that. That means taking your requests that you gave to me and do them. That means all the games you've ever sent to me, I will possibly do at least 3 to 4 more games, and that's it. This year's done. And once I'm done with that, year's done. I'm done. Who the hell knows what'll happen after that? So, yeah, that's it. That doesn't mean I'm going to die. It just means that's it. I'm done. Who knows what's going to happen down the road, but, I'm looking forward to it. But I'm just going to be honest. I've been nervous. I've been through a lot of stress. And, at least I'm getting help for it. That's the most important thing. I have been getting help for it. It means my therapy, physically as well as mentally, it's helping. And, hadn't had a time to actually, get a good yell out into the void and say to my friends, thanks for being there, and now it's time for you to actually let me be there for you. If I've been there for you and you've been there for me, then let me, please, let me be the one to say, let me help you. You've helped me, let me help you. Let me be your ears, your shoulder, let me listen to you. Tell me what's going on. I already know what's going on with me, but, you gotta get it out. I got it out. You get it out. Vent. Release it. You don't need it. Trust me, you do not want to be a victim of depression, of anger, or anything like that. I'm already the cautionary tale of that. And guess what? I lost an artery for that, but not my life. Therefore, yeah, I'm still kicking. How about you? Are you still kicking? Are you still around? Good. I want you to be around. Because everybody needs a friend. Whether they want it or not, they need a friend. They need somebody to listen to. Anybody needs somebody to listen to. After all, in choir I'm known as one little thing, so and so. Because that's all I'm going to be, so and so. I'm going to be that one guy that basically will just be calling shots and letting you know. I'm going to be giving hand signals and making sure you're okay. I'm in the line. I'm holding the line with you. You're not the one by yourself. I'm not sure who needs to hear it, but I'm pretty sure somebody needs to hear it. So, be that as it may. Well, if I'm trying to live out the rest of my days in peace, then that's my goal. I want to live out the rest of my days in peace. I owe myself that. Because after all, my name's Israel.